But first we're gonna breathe. Okay. Okay, you got it. And you're looking at the top camera whenever you're talking to the audience, but most of the time we're gonna be talking to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm good to go?
Yeah.
All right. This is for me. Sean, take one.
All right, how y'all doing? I'm Nia Rose, and this is for me. Today we have a dope artist, Seun, aka the creator and founder of Who's Ox, a card game, a collective, and many more. I'm really excited. Thank you, Seun, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so before we get started, I love to give my guests flowers. First off, I think you have one of my favorite shows in the DMV, and I remember when you first started, I was like, how is he doing this so freaking often? And it's just so engaging and it's so fun. And you know, I think we talked about this before. I feel like you think and breathe in music. Yeah. And, you know, you use that love for music to uplift other musicians and other artists. And I just really love how you're always putting people on and you're always just connecting people. So I just want to give you flowers.
Thank you.
For that. So can you talk about a little bit how Who's Ox came about? What is it? Like, how would you describe it?
So it started as a card game that I made. Oh, you can go ahead. Yeah, it started as a card game that I made just because, like, in my pastime, I was like playing just regular card game, Uno, as you would. I just enjoy, I live and breathe music. That's all I really do. So I was like, okay, let me make one around music so that even in my pastime when I'm not making music, I'm still talking music because it's what I enjoy. Mm-hmm. And then it just spiraled into something else because like now it's more of a collective of people that like to create and content around music as well as artists that make music. It's just so much to it that I couldn't like explain it all. Yeah. But where I want it to be is, I guess, like a hub for the music that I love, and that I just want to see like do well. Yeah.
I love that. And like you said, it's a collective of all different types of content. You have swing theory, you have game night, all these different series that you're creating. Can you talk about like some of the best and worst parts of putting these together?
So, swing theory, I was the first, and I love it just because I was golfing, and like, first of all, I enjoyed golf just as much, not as much as I enjoyed music, it's not close. Crazy. But I did enjoy golf enough to do it often, and so I wanted to combine that with my other love of music, and so I was just interviewing people and playing golf at the same time, but the problem with that was I have no background in videography or anything in terms of creating content. Right. I just decided that I was just gonna do it one day, and I did it. So
sometimes episodes didn't come out.
There's a lot of episodes that didn't come out, and if it happened to you, I'm sorry. And you know that firsthand. Right. But there's a lot of things that went wrong with that, but I still went there almost every day and was just doing two or three interviews a day, just talking to people, having fun, playing golf. Which actually I'm about to start doing it back again in the next couple of weeks. So
I love that. And so what about like game night and the other ones? What were some of those pros and cons of those?
So game night was really just a way for me to play the game with people, but I didn't have to play it. Because there's something about like when I create something that I don't want to like, I don't know, if it felt like if I made the game and then midway through somebody didn't know I make it and was like, yo, this game sucks. We might have a problem. Okay, so I wanted you to play it by like y'all play together or y'all having fun. Okay.
Okay, good. Yeah. I was gonna ask you what has been people's reactions to playing the game? Like, what's some of the feedback that you've been getting?
Funny enough, this was not supposed to be the final version of the game.
Oh, so it's the final?
No, it's not. It's still not final. Okay. Because some of the questions I just made and didn't like test very, very well. Right. So like some of the questions I'm gonna cut out. I'm gonna add new things. But yeah, this is not the final version of the game. But people have enjoyed it so far, and I definitely went a little overboard in terms of how many I made for it not to be the final. Like I have way too many for it not to be the final. But volume 2 it will eventually come out with better questions, more questions, different categories, things like that. Right.
So. Can you talk a little bit about that? This was a question I was gonna have later, but can you talk about that process of actually developing a card game? Like, what are the steps to take to do that?
So That's a great question. First thing I had to do was develop the rule set because I wanted it to be. First, I thought, when you create an idea, right, you think that nobody has done this before. But after a while of working on it more and more, you kind of see that like all of these rules are kind of like borrowed from other games. But yeah, you develop the rule set first, then you make the questions, then you create like the answers or how people will answer or how people will like feel like they won, right? And then after that, it's just playing it. So like before I'd even printed anything out, I kind of just pulled my computer out, went to my little sister and said, yeah, come play this with me, right? And so we read a question off, and then we kind of answered it. I kind of saw how the game was going to go. I was like, okay, this kind of makes sense. So I decided to print the first copy.
So that first copy, you printed yourself?
No, so not like on a piece of paper. No, I had a manufacturer that I had because I wanted the very first one to have like something that I could keep forever.
Yeah.
So I still have it. It used to be called Who Got Aux, right? It's in Canva font, and the box is like 1,000 cards because in the game there's playlists, right? So I had made a card for every song in the playlist, which was insane. But yeah, so yeah, it was not the best, the best first draft, but I still love it just because I have the giant fucking box I keep in my house. Yeah,
I think that's beautiful. I love the trial and error, and some people may not know, but you have some experience in music management as well. Can you talk about some things you wish people knew more about, like the business side of music?
That's a great question. There's just so much of it that is like relationship based and like marketing based. Like there's so many people that make great music, like just outstanding music. But in terms of like their ideals or the way that like they put themselves out there, it doesn't always like mean that you're gonna pop just because you make great music. And that's what really like I feel bad about a lot of times, just because like I want people to hear this, but like they're not gonna hear it based off of like we're in the era we're in right now, like we're in the TikTok era, and some of our musicians just can't like get in front of a camera and make content. Yeah, so like it's kind of hard. So support your musician friends. I guess that's what I say. Yeah.
What would you say to those musicians who they're trying to get their music heard? Like, what would you recommend to them? Like, how does somebody get their music heard?
I wish I could answer that question for you, because there's so many ways, but like it has to be true to who you are as a person, right? Because
that's real.
Yeah, I can recommend ways that I would go, but I'm not the same person as you. Like you might not be the person that I'm not the person that's gonna dance in front of the camera, right? Yeah. So you might be more comfortable dancing. Like maybe you're a dancer, maybe you enjoy dancing, so that might be your lane. But like it's very different per person. But I will say we're definitely in an era where content is
king.
Yeah, content is super important. And not to say that you have to flood people with content, but you have to find a way. If you're not gonna be like in people's faces physically, like in your city, throwing concerts and like building up the fan base like face to face, you have to do it digitally somehow. Yeah.
I love that. And we had the opportunity to talk a couple times. I did the swing theory once, and then I also did your artist discovery, which was really cool. And you shared briefly how you want your collective to be like inclusive, as opposed to Brent Fayez. It's kind of like, the cool kids only. You want everybody to be a part of your world. What do you feel like the Who's Aux world looks like, ideally?
Oof. I tend to ramble, so I'm gonna try to cut it off before I
it's
get
fun.
there.
Indulge. This is what it's for.
But what does it look like? It's kind of like having the people that enjoy the art and the people that make the art in one room, and kind of understanding each other, right? Because I feel as though as people that make music, the people that listen to music don't necessarily know the struggles of like what it takes to actually get your music in front of you, right? Yeah. And I feel as though it's kind of like,
there's like a disconnect.
Yeah, there's a disconnect, and I feel as though it's I can't really explain how. I have an idea for it, and I know how I want it to look, but I don't know what that looks like in words. I
love that. Yeah. That's okay. You don't have to force it, but I already see you in the process of building that out, and I love that you're going with the flow. Like you said, you didn't know that it would become what it is now, and I think you're just allowing that space for it to, you know, become even bigger.
Yeah.
You know, I love that so much. What would you feel like what are more things that you would want to add to it? Do you have an idea of that yet?
Yeah, I do. Okay.
I see you're smiling. You're already getting excited.
Yeah, because there's something I've been like waiting to do for a little bit. When is this coming out?
Whenever you want.
Okay, because we're about to start cooking an album.
Oh.
Yeah.
A Who's Ox album.
Yeah, so because
can I be on? Can I introduce it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I definitely want to like have people collect like actually to go back to the first question. I'm glad you asked this afterwards. I wanted to start with the building community, like with artists first, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel as though the reason we don't have like a scene that works like Atlanta or works like the places that I go and, you know, I'm immediately, you know, just enveloped by the industry there, is that we don't work with each other enough. Whereas like it's egos aside, like, yo, let's just make music type. And I'm trying to put people that would not work together, not they wouldn't work together, but like wouldn't be in the same room. So like like people that have been on Who's Ox before or people that haven't.
Yeah.
I'm in contact with them right now. I'm just like, okay, we're gonna have a studio session, you know, in Baltimore. You're from DC. Pull up. Let's make something happen, or, you know, let's go to VA or let's do something. But that's definitely the first step, was just creating music with people that like I feel like should work, not necessarily should work together, but like,
right, you're trying to make those connections. You know what I'm saying? Are you hoping that we can build that scene in DC, or is it something that you just want that community here organically?
I feel as though we can build that. Like I don't think it's really that hard to make something happen. Like I don't know what it is about our scene where like everybody, it's kind of individualistic. Like it's just me and my guys and that's it, right? Yeah. And it works if like you and your guys are attached to something that has some motion or something, or like something new that pops up for you. But like after a while, you have to like develop your sound. Like one thing I really don't like about music, a lot of artists do, is they are very insular in the way that they create. And so like you only make music that like is approved by you and your people around you, and you don't really learn from other people's music sounds. Like I engineer a lot of records, and so in working with other people, I've really learned how to like adapt my sound, the way I make music myself, and learn from, okay, this guy sings and he stacks his vocals like this, and I feel like this would work for this rapper actually. So I take this and I'm like, you should actually do this. But like if I didn't work,
sounding like Quincy, you know what I'm saying? It's like this orchestra putting all this stuff together, you know?
I hope so.
I think that's so beautiful. I feel like you move with a lot of intention, you know. And, you know, just to transition, anybody who's watching your content, they're going to see that you have a whole bunch of beautiful women on your show. Is this like a way for you to meet your wife? Like, what's the... No, it's really just, that's a great question. I leave the game nights up to just whoever wants to come, it just pulls up. And it just so happens there's a lot of beautiful women. Yeah, I'm not looking for a wife. Okay, so you mentioned when I first, you know, brought this idea to you, you're building a team. It's not just you who's doing Who's Ox. Can you talk about like what are some best practices that you have learned as you've been producing the series?
So, that's okay. So, in creating it was me to start, and it was me for a long time. Yeah. And it's when you have an idea that you really like love, you kind of don't want to bring people in if they're gonna like
lackadaisical,
if they're not serious about it.
Yeah.
And so I had that problem for a little while. But I had one guy kept calling me a couple times, Brian. He was like, "Yo."
He just messaged me too.
See, yeah. So he kept calling me like, "Yo, no, this is something. Let's really lock in. Let's lock it in." Right. So I'm like, okay, all right. This guy is serious, right? So he was the first person that I kind of like brought on. I was like, all right, let's try to make something happen. And that's why he was the game night was the first thing that came afterwards, I believe. Right. And so
you had the workout one too.
Yeah. So the gym one that was a little different. He wanted to make gym content, right? And I was just like, why not help me? No, why not let me help you get into content creating, because you hadn't done it before.
Yeah.
Let me help you get into content creating, and then you can host this gym show to start and see how you do on camera and things like that. And so that was his his little test run. And I think we're gonna get back to that one. I'm just I have a lot of
things out.
Yeah, I have a lot of hands, a lot of things. I can't be cameraman and editor. Yeah, so.
I feel you. How are you, you're juggling a lot of different series, a lot of creation, and I'm sure, you're full-time as well. How are you taking care of your mental health, your physical health? What does that look like for you?
So, it's funny you say that. When I had first started, I was unemployed. So I was just, vibing. I was, I was vibing. I was living off of, saved money. So that's why it was so easy to come out every day. When you have nothing to do, you can just go golf, Yeah. But now I'm fully employed now. So
congratulations.
Yes, man. Thank God. So now it's a little bit harder because from 8 o'clock to like 4 o'clock, I'm gonna have to be working.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I have to shoot and I have to edit. I have to do this. Yeah. So I still find time to work out because the gym.
Working out, that's what helps you.
The gym is definitely one thing that gets me right, because when I don't feel good, like physically, I don't feel good internally either. So I feel like the gym is definitely something that really helps me out, like mentally as well.
I love that. Out of all the things that you've produced, I know you're not always physically there, but what has been one of your favorite interviews that you've done, or like one of the most memorable?
That's a good question. Most memorable, if I had to think of one right now. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do two just because, and it's strange because it's yours, but it's not because you're here. It's because I thought of the idea, right, and I spent more time on that specific thought than I do on regular interviews. So and I really enjoyed the idea, the concept of creating that, and that's something I
the artistic discovery.
Yeah. So I really wanted to do more of that, but it's more of it's hard to find people that I want to. It's hard to find people that I want to talk to as much in that sense. Whereas we can golf and have fun together, and I'm like, okay, let's enjoy each other's company. In that sense, but in terms
this
of
one is literally just the conversation, and maybe they don't have that depth that you're looking for, and that could be a little bit harder.
Exactly.
And I enjoy that too because it felt very authentic and organic. But I also enjoyed the swing theory too. It was so funny because you're getting live, you're golfing, and you I don't really know how to golf. I'm just doing my best, but you're a good teacher as well, and so that was really fun. So I was so sad when it didn't come out, but maybe we'll run that back. But I did want to bring up, I noticed that you were part of a project called Free the Birds, and you were just talking about how much that meant to you. It was a several-year process. Can you talk a little bit about, how did you contribute to that project?
So, okay, Free the Birds was, I think, 2019. I first met 4K Michael. Maybe 2018. At some point we met, right? And then we started working heavy in 2019, right, up until 2020, and we were just developing his sound in my room. First, it had started with paid sessions because I was a producer at the time. I didn't really want to engineer. No, I didn't want to engineer. I love to collaborate, but I wanted to just make beats and help you, guide you through the session on my music.
Yeah.
But I've at some point I kind of realized I want the best song, and it doesn't necessarily have to be on my beat, right? And when I kind of let that ego go, we kind of started creating more and more music, and it was all for free. We was in my house every day for all of quarantine, just making music, it was doing pretty well. We were going to LA back and forth doing sessions in LA, Philly, things like that, and we were shopping it to labels. We had a couple of situations that we wanted to land at, but we decided to do it ourselves, and it just felt the best. Right. Yeah, just I executive produced the tape. Like every song I touched in one way, shape, or form, mixed and mastered, and I was there for every song. So it felt as though like that as much as it was his child, it was my child as well. So like we just put that into effort, and yeah, that was a big part of like my, I guess, development as a producer and as like, and seeing the business side and how that can kind of go. Because when you're in so many meetings, you kind of see, okay, this is not really in terms of the art. Like people like you, they will love the music so much, but not if the numbers like aren't there yet. There's nothing that you can do about it. And if
when you say numbers, you mean like the audience or the fan base?
If there's not enough engagement on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter,
the labels aren't gonna like give it any mind. Is that what you mean?
No.
I love that. Okay, we're gonna do one more question and then we're gonna do lightning round. You've gone about music in a lot of different ways. Whether you're producing, engineering, or creating a series. What do you feel like makes a good song?
What do I feel like makes a good song? There's
so many, there's so many genres, so it can, good can be relative.
Yeah, okay. What makes a good song? I feel as though it just has to feel it. Like it has to just like give you an emotional reaction when you hear it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what makes a good song, especially to me. Like when I'm hearing music, and like I hear it again when it's not playing, and I feel something I feel the same emotion I felt before. It's like, okay, yeah, this song meant something to me.
Spiritual.
Yeah, it's more. Yeah, it's more than just like, and it's crazy because you can be talking about the worst things.
Yeah.
But as long as like it makes me feel something, like specifically, like I'll go like a Babyface Ray. Sometimes he says a lot of things that maybe shouldn't be said,
right,
or shouldn't be done, but it makes you feel a certain way, like, and makes you want to, like, it elicits like an emotion and an action out of me. It's like, this is a good song.
I love that. Okay, lightning round. All right, so best concert you've ever been to? Best concert
I've ever been to. It's crazy enough. I don't even like concerts like that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like
Not even like the intimate ones, like Fillmore or something.
Okay, well, yeah, I haven't actually been to a Fillmore concert. Okay. Well, no, actually, that's a lie. I have. Damn. Okay, he's gonna be mad if I don't say him. So,
don't feel pressured.
I'd say.
Who were you thinking?
I was gonna say Erykah Badu and Nas, but I'm also saying Mecca Lux.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like you were paid to do that.
And let's say Mecca Lux.
Okay, songs that you'd make love to.
Division, In Too Deep.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now this one you're gonna do F, Marry, Kill. Okay.
Okay.
So Sexy Red, Meg Thee Stallion, and Amaarae.
Kill. Okay, I'm gonna start at the front.
Kill is crazy.
Marry Amaarae.
Okay.
Fuck Meg Thee Stallion. Kill Sexy Red.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, Sexy Red. Okay. If you could only listen to one artist for the rest of your life, who would it be?
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna go. Okay. Damn. Who has everything for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Damn. Who can make me feel the widest range of emotions? It's so crazy to say because I hate this answer. But is it Drake?
Whoa! Yeah, he'll give it to you. That sounds crazy. No, you won't. That's crazy. Sorry.
But
what? Especially with the new video.
Nah, that's.
Okay, so Drake for the rest of your life.
I think we gotta go Drake.
All right, last one. What are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of?
Yeah.
I think just creating like authentically. Like I used to be a person that wouldn't like like even I still, you know how I said I still struggle a little bit with putting like being in the game while people are playing it, but like I feel like I create right now and don't really care whether or not you love it if I love it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm super proud of like the things that I create, like the Mechalux album or the 4K Michael album, or just every piece of content I put out. It's like, okay, when I create, it's like, okay, you can have things that you don't like about it, but I still love this, and I'm even when I look back on it, and there's things that like some of this could have done a little better, but I still enjoy doing it and enjoy putting it out. Yeah,
I love that so much. Thank you so much for being here, being open. Let them know where they can find you, what you got coming up. What's next? Look in the top camera.
Okay. You can honestly, don't find me. Find Whozox. So you can find Whozox at WHOSAUX. Whozox on everything except for Twitter. I don't know who has that Twitter. That's not me. He's tweeting something crazy. Besides that, what's coming next? Swing Theory's coming back, so I guess be on the lookout for that one. And the album is gonna be cooked very soon. Woo! But it's gonna take a while, so please bear with me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thank y'all for tuning in. I am Nia Rose, and this is for me. Stay tuned on YouTube, Spotify, IG, all of that. See y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we did that.
Thank you. We're gonna take a picture here, sitting.